All right, today we're talking about domain and range. Remember, domain are all my possible x values, and range are all my possible y values. So let's go and do all our domains first on this side. Okay. So my domain are all my possible x values. So it's along my x-axis. So my furthest point, right? And our x-axis goes left to right, and our range is our y, and our y-axis is up and down, right? So I know when I'm talking about domain, I need to find the furthest point left and the furthest point right. So on this one, my furthest point left is right here where my x is 0. And my furthest point right is right here where my x number is 12. So all of my x values are between 0 and 12, right? Yeah, one's a x, 2, 3, 4. But not even just all these numbers. It's all the numbers in between 0 and 1, right? So it's all of my numbers. If I cover up this part that says x is greater than or equal to 0. Well, yeah, it's all the numbers bigger than 0. If I cover up this part, x is less than or equal to 12. It's all the numbers less than or equal to 12. All right, so x is between these two numbers. So our signs are always going to face this way when we have two values because it's between these two numbers, right? Everything between 0 and 12. So those are our same thing here. Our domain are our x values. So this is my furthest point left, where x is -2. My furthest point right is right here, and its x number is 3. So all of my x's are between -2, that's my furthest point left, and +3 is my furthest point right. Well, this is a closed circle, so then I know it's or equal to. But this is an open circle. Well, that means 3 is not an answer, but everything right up to 3, everything less than 3. So does it matter if it's curved or straight line? Well, not for a domain. Our furthest point left is right here, and its x number is -2. And our furthest point right is right here, and its x number is 3. All right, but they're both closed circles. So x is between -2 and -3. All right, these look almost the same. If this would have been a closed circle, then they'd be exactly the same. Because domain is just furthest left to furthest right. It doesn't matter if it's a straight line or a curved line. I just got to find the extremes, and all my x's are somewhere between those two numbers. But now, like, I got a point and I got an arrow. So I don't have two numbers. I only have one number. So since I only have one number, it's going to be x, some sign, and my one number. Well, my one number is right here. My x value is -4. All right, so look, -4, but my arrow is pointing as my x's are getting bigger. -3, -2, 1. All of these numbers are greater than or equal to -4. All right, so again, I find my point. Furthest point left is -4. I don't have a furthest point right. It's going forever right. So it's all the numbers greater than or equal to -4. All right, so it's never past -4. That's where it stops. Well, same thing here. Well, this one's going to be might confuse some people. All right, I have a point, so I know it's just x, some symbol, and some number. Or most of us are messing up. Some of us already wrote down -4. But look, -4 is its y number. The x number at this point is 0. Okay. Because -4, this point right here is 0, -4. The x value at that point is 0. Right? So my x number is 0. So 0 is my lowest x. And again, it's pointing to the right as my x's are getting bigger. So it's greater than 0, right? It's an open circle. So 0 is not right, but everything greater than 0. All right, so now, well, I don't have the furthest point left. It's going forever left, and it's going forever right, right? This is a quadratic equation, right? If it's got two arrows going forever left and forever right, and then we got all real numbers. Well, same thing here. Like, I don't know where it doesn't stop going left. It keeps going left. This arrow means it keeps going left. And this arrow means it keeps going right. So again, all real numbers. Right? It's not just all real numbers greater than or equal to -4. It's all numbers. It's going forever left and forever right. But again, this one's got one arrow. It's going forever right, but it never goes past this point left. So again, I had the first, so I only have one number, right? And it's my X number there is -2. So again, it's pointing to the right as my numbers are getting bigger. So it's X is greater than -2. It's an open circle, so it's not or equal to. Okay. So let's go back and talk about our range. Well, range is all my Y values. All right. And this one again, I have 2 points. I have a lowest point and I got a highest point. So my lowest point is my Y number is 0. And at my highest point, its Y number is 100. So again, they're closed circles, so it's or equal to. All my Y's are between 0 and 100. It's never above 100, and it's never below 0. All the numbers between those two values. Well, same thing here, talking about range. All right, so here's my lowest point. Its Y number is -4. And here's my highest point. Its Y number is 2. So all of my Y's are between those two numbers. But a -4, it's an open circle. So it's just like that. A +2, it's closed. So Y is greater than -4. Yeah, -4 is my lowest Y. But Y is less than or equal to 2. Yeah, 2 is my highest Y, and all the other ones are below it. Again, we got 2, right? But what makes this one more, remember, our range is our lowest point. Well, our lowest point is right here. Its Y number is -4. Our highest point is up here. Its Y number is 5. Okay. And again, it's a solid line. So that's less than or equal to. It's a solid circle, so less than or equal to. All right. A lot of people have been like, oh, this right here is where Y is 0. But look, it goes below that point. Our range is our lowest point to our highest point. Okay. So look at our range here. Well, I don't know my lowest point. This is going forever down. So I only have 1 point. It's going forever down. All right. But it never goes above this point right here. So our Y value there is 6. So now look at where it's pointing. It's pointing down as my numbers are getting less and less and less. That means 6 is my greatest Y value, right? So my maximum Y value is 6, and all the other Y's are less than or equal to that number. So this next one. All right, again, I have this arrow going up, so it's going forever up, but it never goes below this point. So I have 1 Y value, right? If it's going up, well, that's when my Y's are being greater. So greater than -4, right? Open circle, so it's not or equal to, but -4 is my minimum Y value, and all my other Y's are going up. So here, my domain is all real numbers. It's going forever left and forever right. And it's going forever down, but it has a maximum value, right? It never goes above this Y number, which is -3, right? Because that's where our vertex is. All right, so -3 is my greatest Y value. If it's pointing down, that means all my other Y values are less than or equal to -3. Well, our next one, well, this time it's going up, right? Our parabola is opening up. Well, this time that means my lowest point is our minimum Y value. That means all my other Y's are going up. They're all greater than or equal to 5. Yeah, it's pointing where 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all these numbers are greater than 5. Last one. Again, I don't know the top of my graph. It's going forever up, but I do know the bottom. It never goes below that point. My Y value at that point is 1. So this increasing, well, Y is greater than 1. 1's my lowest Y, and all the rest are above it. Okay. So again, when we're doing domain and range, domain is my X values, furthest left to furthest right. Range are my Y values. We go furthest from the bottom to furthest from the top.